I contracted a bizarre illness. I can only speak the truth. Can't force even half a lie out of my mouth during history class today. The teacher called on me to read a historical text about the Battle of Red Cliffs, but I couldn't utter a single word. That's when it suddenly hit me. The historical records of the Battle of Red Cliffs were completely wrong. The teacher's brow furrowed deeper and deeper. I had to grit my teeth and blurt out the truth. In the Battle of Red Cliffs, Cao Cao didn't actually lose a single ship to the fire. History books got it wrong. The whole class immediately burst into laughter. The teacher's face turned pale green. The next day, I was taken to the best hospital in the city. Doctor listened to my story and didn't believe a word of it. Whatever I say next, just repeat it exact. My sentences will be a mix of truth and lies. No problem. Let's begin, doctor. Birds can fly in the sky. I didn't steal the pudding from the fridge. Couldn't say a word yesterday at 3 p.m. I drank a cup of black coffee in the on-call room yesterday at 3 p.m. I drank a cup of black coffee in the on-call room. The underwear. The doctor froze for a second, a look of sheer embarrassment flashing across his face. Are you sure you're not just guessing? I swear I'm really not guessing. All right, we'll do one final test. Try to guess this. Just now, a severely injured accident victim was brought into the ear. What ended up happening to him? You don't need to know the real answer. Run through every possible outcome in your head and then try saying them out loud one by one. I did as he said. He's still alive. Couldn't say it. He didn't make it through the emergency surgery and passed away. He couldn't say it. He was transferred to another hospital. Still couldn't say it. Every single guess got choked up in my throat like a clogged rain, until an absurd thought flashed through my mind. That injured person doesn't exist at all. That's right. That injured person never existed. It seems you really do have an illness where you can only speak the truth. Even if you know absolutely nothing about a situation, as long as you run it through your head, you can eliminate all the wrong answers until you can finally speak the correct one. So, Ever since that diagnosis, my ordinary high school life has completely changed. The atmosphere in class has been incredibly oppressive these past few days. A girl in our class has been missing for 3 days. Class. I know everyone is very worried about Su Yao. The police are doing everything they can to investigate. All we can do right now is wish for her safe return after saying that the teacher walked over to me. Cheng Yan, your grades in literature have always been excellent. I want you to use the word hope in a sentence. Express the whole class's wish that Su Yao will return safely soon. I open my mouth, my brain rapidly putting together the words, we hope Su Yao returns safely. We hope Su Yao is found soon. I couldn't utter a single one. Finally, I had to give in to the only thought that could make it past my throat. And with a trembling voice, I said, I hope everyone can soon accept the truth that Su Yao is no longer in this world. As soon as the words left my mouth, the classroom fell so dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Che Yen, what kind of nonsense are you spouting? Here is my medical diagnosis. The teacher took it and skimmed through it. His face darkened and he immediately picked up his phone. Half an hour later, I was brought to a meeting room. A man walked in. Chang Jian, don't be nervous. I've already been briefed on your condition when you said in class that Suya was no longer with us. Is that a clue your illness gave you? I don't know. I can only speak the truth. I can't force out a lie. I understand that I want you to repeat what I say about the disappearance. Suya went missing on her way home from school 3 days ago. The last footage of her on the security cameras was in the alley behind the school. We the police suspect she was kidnapped. We the police suspect she was... I can't say it. Su Yao left voluntarily. She knows the reason why she left. Try saying I know where Su Yao is. I can't. I don't know where Su Yao is. It's fine. Let's try another way. Run through every possible location in your head. Next is the mall. Call. The riverbank. The mountains. I closed my eyes and at an internet cafe in the suburbs by the riverbank. All of these thoughts hit an invisible wall right in my throat. Just as I was about to give up, a chilling word suddenly flashed through my mind. Su Yao is underground where, be specific. Is it the school basement or a subway tunnel? I tried to say. The school basement couldn't say it, a subway tunnel couldn't say that either. Frantically scoured my brain, searching for that one and only correct answer. Su Yao is right beneath our feet. The meeting room instantly fell dead silent. Captain Su's face went rigid as he stared down at the shiny ceramic tiles beneath his feet. then looked back up at me. Half an hour later, the construction crew arrived. Right in this area, pry it open and make it quick. Over 10 minutes later, a hole was smashed into the floor. Captain Shu, it's hollow underneath, and there's a large suitcase. My heart instantly leaped into my throat. Captain Shu immediately climbed down. Very quickly, the suitcase was pulled up. When opened, it was completely empty inside. We found Su Yao's belongings. What the abyss happened here? After saying that, he handed the card to me. I only stared at it for about 2 seconds when a bone-chilling visceral sensation like an electric current coursed through my entire body. The owner of this card seems she no longer exists in this world. The forensic doctor standing nearby was stunned, then stared at me like I was a complete lunatic. What exactly happened here? Captain Shu, don't listen to this kid's nonsense. This is just a plastic card. How could anyone deduce anything from it and no longer exists in this world? This theory completely defies common sense. It's utterly baseless. I had no way to argue back because even I didn't understand where this feeling was actually coming from. What? But the kid is saying isn't science. What he's saying is the truth. Take this student ID straight to the forensics lab. Run the most comprehensive trace evidence analysis on it. Also, do a full sweep of the day Suya went missing. Track down everyone who came into contact with her. Do not miss a single person. For the next 2 days, best if I stayed put at home until Captain Shu called Chenyang. And get over here right now. We've got a major breakthrough in the case. We caught the guy. I rushed over to the police station. The suspect they caught was a familiar petty mugger named Zhang Shi. We reviewed all the security cameras around the area she went missing and found him loitering in the alley behind the school during the exact time frame of the crime, acting incredibly suspicious. After interrogation, he confessed that he was the one who kidnapped Suya. So our human lie detector helped me take a look at this case. Tell me what your gut says. Took a deep breath, stared at Zhang Shiyin in the interrogation room, and tried to piece together the truth in my head. He kidnapped Su Yao. Couldn't say it. He's telling the truth. Couldn't say that either. He has never even met Su Yao. No way. The details of the crime he confessed to match perfectly. I need even gave up the location where he hid Su. Our guys are already rushing over there. Sheg Yan, is it possible your ability made a mistake? Right at that, Zhang Si changed his story. Everything he said before was a lie. I didn't kidnap any schoolgirl. I don't know her at all. Calm down. You were the one confessing just a minute ago, and now you're the one backtracking. Are you messing with us? Telling the truth, someone gave me a huge sum of money and handed me a script telling me to read from it. They said once it was done, they'd give me another payout so I could skip town. Officers, I'm begging you. I just took the money to do a job. I don't want to go to jail. Every word out of young Sis' mouth hit Captain Su's heart like a sledgehammer. Just then, the officer he had dispatched earlier called back. Captain Shu, this place is just an old warehouse that's been abandoned for years. It's completely empty. There's absolutely nothing here. Aside from dust, there isn't even a ghost in sight. The chain of evidence they had painstakingly pieced together completely shattered in that instant. In the tech lab, the staff were frowning deeply, cross-referencing the call history Zhang Shi provided, analyzing it over and over again, routed through at least a dozen virtual servers across different countries. Relayed layer by layer, there are too many hops. It's completely impossible to trace the source. Furthermore, the voice was altered using specialized software, and the vocal timbre was securely encrypted. There's absolutely no way we can restore his original voice. What about the money? Didn't he say he received a huge sum? Follow the money trail and track it. We did. The other party paid using highly anonymous cryptocurrency through decentralized transactions on an anonymous coin mixing network. Once the money was transferred, it was like water spilled on the ground, completely sinking into a massive ocean of data. It's fundamentally impossible to find the recipient's address. Seems the culprit used professional-grade anti-reconnaissance tactics. After the returning home, I started frantically searching the internet, trying every keyword combination I could think of. Suddenly, a post caught my eye. But they all say the truth I speak is twisted. They think I've gone mad. But I know I'm not crazy. It's just that the truth I see is different from theirs. Those things aren't something I should know. I never dreamed that there was someone else in this world exactly like me. I immediately sent them a private message. Stop asking. They can monitor everything. Delete all your records. Their next target is you. Run now. Right after that, this person sent a long string of random chaotic letters and numbers. This is the only thing I can leave you. Don't trust anyone. I wanted to keep pressing for answers, but the system notified me user does not exist or account has been deleted. She'll shot straight up from my tailbone to the top of my head. What the abyss is going on? Where do these coordinates lead? I followed the coordinates to an abandoned old neighborhood, but communication equipment was scattered all over the place, but the walls were plastered with photos. My eyes were instinctively drawn to the Velosta BI photo of Su Yao right in the middle of the wall. Beneath the photo were a few glaringly large words: key compatible subject, progress, located, status, blacked out. It seems Shadow knew a lot more than I did. That's a photo of my dad when he was young, and I was 7. He passed away in a lab accident. Why is his photo here? Beneath his photo was the exact same printed text: first-generation researcher of the Truthgate project. Cause of death, highly suspicious. Could it be that my dad's death wasn't an accident at all? Chegyen, where did you run off to? You didn't even answer your phone. Do you have any idea how worried I was? Mom, was dad's death really an accident? I pulled out my phone. The screen displaying the photo of my dad I had just taken, worried etched on my mom's face, instantly morphed into sheer terror. Where did you get this photo? Your father died in a car crash. It was just an accident. Don't ask about this anymore. Do you hear me? Delete that photo right now. Deleted immediately. Her reaction was far too extreme. Took a deep breath, wanting to comfort her. Mom, dad passed away in an accident. The what? Word accident felt like a red-hot iron block choking my throat tight. Seeing this, my mom broke down and slumped onto the sofa. I turned and walked. Chagyan, don't go in there. There's nothing in there. It was my dad's study. The familiar smell of old paper, mixed with the faint scent of mothballs, hit my face. I started rummaging everywhere. I wanted to find whatever my dad had left behind. Finally, an old black USB drive, without any brand name on it, was pulled out by me. I immediately went back to my room, locked the door tight. I unplugged the USB into my computer. It required a password. My dad's birthday, incorrect. My birthday, incorrect. My parents' anniversary, incorrect. Every single number related to my dad that I could think of, they were all wrong. Just as I was about to give up hope, I remembered the word written in that abandoned room: Truthgate unlocked successfully. Inside was an audio recording. Chegyan, my son, if you're hearing this recording, then it means my worst fear has come true. Listen to me, son. Your illness is not a defect, nor is it a doomed. It is a gift passed down through generations in our family. It can help you and hear the erased voices. This is humanity's most primal instinct, the die of truth that many organizations desperately cover, but it is also the heaviest doomed because it will make you see far too many truths that shouldn't be seen in the eyes of those who wish to control everything. You are a fatal threat. They will come for you, use every means to study you, and exploit you until they've squeezed out your very last drop of value. Don't trust anyone, especially authoritative experts who suddenly show an excessive amount of interest in your illness. I've left a clue for you, person with the alias Shadow. If they reach out to you first, it means the situation has become extremely dangerous. If you can no longer contact them, don't hesitate. Use every method to find the clues they left behind. Then go find that key, the key that can completely control or put an end to this innate talent. The truth itself holds no power, but the choices you make after seeing the truth clearly are what hold true power. The recording reached this point, and the sudden burst of static crackled. The next day, I followed the final coordinates hidden by shadows. After waiting there for quite a while, a mysterious person approached. Your Shadow, Chegyan, you've got even more guts than your dad, daring to come here all alone. You knew my dad. I knew him. It's more than just knowing him. He was the only person in this world I could call a friend, the only person I owe. What exactly is the truth, Gay? My illness and my dad's death. What is this all about? Calm down, kid. We don't have much time, so I'll keep it brief. Your dad and I were once core researchers for the Truthgate project. It wasn't a normal scientific research organization, but a top-secret project controlled by an anonymous power dedicated to studying the connection between human perception, absolute truth. Is it my ability to only speak the truth? Exactly. Your condition isn't some illness you caught later in life. It's an extremely rare manifestation of a recessive gene, hidden deep within the bloodline of your Chang family. Under normal circumstances, it might never. The Gate of Truth found an artificial method to awaken and cultivate it. Awaken my mind instantly pieced everything together. All the disappearances were connected to this. That girl, just like you, carries this gene, but she was luckier, or perhaps more unfortunate. Her gene is dominant, her ability awakened earlier than yours. It's much more stable. The Gate of Truth took her not just for research, to extract her genetic sequence. They want to use her genes as a key or a mold, forcefully awaken and control their next target. So that's it. Su Yao's disappearance. That actor, Zhang Shiyi, it was all a trap to lure me in. There are a bunch of lunatics, a group of fanatics, wielding dangerous technology. They aren't satisfied with just research. They want to weaponize this ability that can touch the very essence of truth, to use it for espionage, interrogation, and even more terrifying delusion. Like the ultimate analysis of consciousness, digital immortality. Your father was the first to discover their. 2. Stop this project from sliding into the abyss, but in the end, they're here. Run, Chegyan, get down, bang. By the time I regained my senses, Captain Shu had already dragged me behind cover with one hand. Captain Shu, why are you here? Why am I here? I knew you wouldn't just sit still, kid. The look on your face when you left that day wasn't right. I had a feeling you'd get into trouble. I tinkered with your phone a bit and secretly installed a tracker. If I hadn't been leading my men to tell you from a distance, you and your good friend would be dead meat today. Team B, high ground at 3 o'clock. Team C, flank them. Watch out for crossfire. The enemies are professional killers. They have snipers. Prioritize protecting civilians. Watch. Captain Zhu's back as he rushed out. That warning to trust no one suddenly felt incredibly ridiculous and absurd. The cops are here. Fall back. Soon the gunfire outside ceased. Captain Zeus's face was as grim as iron. Yang Zi was dead and he and I had. Captain Shu, I'm sorry, I dragged you into this. Your entire future and career are ruined. What nonsense are you spouting? Since things have come to this, we're basically comrades who've been through life and death. I can't believe these guys even dared to scheme against the police department. This is the message they left earlier. I wasn't planning on showing you this soon, but you need to understand exactly what we're up against right now. On the phone screen was an unread message from an unknown number. Your mother has been invited to assist us with our investigation. We hope you will cooperate, so she won't have to worry too much. My mind instantly went blank. This was a blatant threat. All of this was because of my ability. Chegyan, look at me. They're doing this to make you panic, to break you down, and force you to walk right into their trap. If you collapse now, you'll be playing right into their hands. We have no way back anymore. You have to survive. We need to find the evidence to uproot these people once and for all. That's the only way to save your mom and to save ourselves. Do you understand? I nodded heavily. I understand that, Captain Shu Jingfeng. Don't be tense. I mean no harm. On the contrary, I'm here to give you a chance to return to your normal life. The caller addressed him by his full name. Obviously, their knowledge of him went far beyond the surface. Who the abyss are you people? Who we are isn't important. What matters is what we can offer you. Captain Shu, you're a good cop. You've cracked quite a few major cases, and you have a bright future ahead. It's not worth ruining your own career over a kid with a shady background and complicated, and even dragging your family into it. What are you getting at? It's very simple. Tomorrow at 7 a.m., at Warehouse 3 of the abandoned No. 7 chemical plant in the west of the city. Bring that kid Chegi on there in exchange for the murder of Yang Zi. We'll find the perfect scapegoat for you. You can go back to your job. And with your performance in this case, you might even get a commendation. Your family will also return to your side safely. Otherwise, I think you know very well what happens when you cross us. Yingzi is the prime example. The call ended. His honor and his family, his entire future. On the other was an innocent teenager, and a heavy burden of trust early the next morning. What's wrong? Are you gonna hand me over? What? What kind of nonsense are you spouting, kid? I lost my job because of you. Became a wanted criminal. I treat you as a comrade. What do you take me for? You won't hand me over. I am sorry, Captain Shu. You actually tested me. This is bad. They found us. Chen Yan, run. Eventually, as we fled into the woods, we're heavily surrounded by men in black. Just now, while trying to cover me, Captain Shu dislocated his arm. These guys weren't going for the kill. They must have received orders to capture us alive. Cheng Yan, I'll charge in and hold them off in a bit. You aim for the gap on the right and run. Don't look back, you hear me? Do you hear me? I stared at his back. Yingzi was already dead. My dad was dead too. Was a Captain Shu's turn to die now? All because of this incomprehensible innate talent of mine, and unprecedented. The long-suppressed volcano violently erupted in my chest. No, I can't let anyone else die because of me. Absolutely not. My ability has only ever been able to acknowledge the truth. B. What is the truth? What if the words I speak right now instantly become the truth themselves? A thought so insane it made even me tremble, like a wild beast breaking free from its shackles. Instantly took over my entire mind. I immediately stepped forward, shielding Captain Shu. Those men in black looked at my deathbed struggle and found it utterly ridiculous. I ignored them and closed my eyes, pouring all my willpower, fury and resignation into my throat, into every single word I was about to speak. I felt my temples throbbing, then my eyes snapped open. Using a voice that felt foreign even to myself, I clearly uttered a single sentence. All of you fall to the ground immediately. The sound carried a metallic echo. The men in black collapsed to the ground in unison. No screams, no struggles, puppets having their strings cut all at once. But what exactly is this power? Chegian, are you okay? I'm fine, Captain Shu. They saw it. It's like someone flipped a switch on them and they all dropped at once. What kind of person are you, kid? I didn't know how to answer. I just suddenly remembered there was still a card in my pocket. Yingzi slipped it to me before he fell. This is a key card for Genesis biology. There's a long-abandoned biological lab in the suburbs 10 years ago due to an unexplained leak. The entire area was permanently sealed off when I first joined the force, even helped secure the perimeter. Yingzi probably wanted us to go there. Very quickly we arrived at the location. It was surrounded by crumbling walls, but inside it was quite clean and tidy, just that the power was cut. Captain Shu found the backup power supply after turning it on. A line of text instantly popped up on the computer screen. Consciousness upload project. Test subject Su Yao. Sinking current status, 87%. That's when I finally understood the sensation of her heartbeat stopped. But her consciousness being extracted from her body, they were trying to turn Su Yao into a cold piece of data. Su Yao, can you hear me? It's me, Chang Yang. Shegyeon, save me, the black box. I'm in the black box. Was Su Yao. Her consciousness was responding to me. Unauthorized intrusion detected in the core laboratory area. Highest level security protocol activated. Physical lockdown initiated. Data wipe protocol. Loaded activation in 60 seconds. They knew we were coming here from the very beginning. This was a trap all along. They wanted to bury us in all the evidence. Permanently down here, a Captain Shu desperately searched for an exit, while I rushed straight into the innermost room and spotted that black box at a glance. Final confirmation for data wipe protocol. 30 seconds remain. This is bad. The main gate is deadlocked. The walls of the entire room are closing in. I suddenly remembered the keycard Yingzi gave me. The moment I swiped it, the system announced. The one leading them was the very doctor who examined me at the hospital a while back. It was him. What an astonishing leap forward, my dear patient. Chang Yan and the ever-dedicated Captain Shu Jingfeng. I never expected you to make it this far, even find your way here. Seems I underestimated that traitor, Yingzi. Dr. Liu Baichuan. It's you. Why? Being a doctor was just a convenient way for me to closely observe. My most precious specimens, you and that thing you're holding in your hands, are the most crucial foundation for the future of this project. You should feel honored. Your consciousness will become the starting point for humanity's evolution into its next stage, turning living souls into cold strings of data, turning my entire life and family upside down. Just for your ridiculous evolution. Ridiculous, this fragile, weak flesh will eventually rot. A D-only consciousness can achieve immortality in the ocean of data. Su Yao's consciousness data is highly unstable. It's like a source code, riddled with conflicts and bugs. But a consciousness that can directly anchor to absolute truth like yours is the most perfect stabilizer. We need your consciousness structure to reconstruct. Su Yao, you lunatic, you're nothing but a complete madman. And perhaps, oh right, just a quick reminder, Your mother is currently enjoying some tea in a very safe place. Catch my drift, hearing him use my mom to threaten me. A fire of rage shot up from the soles of my feet straight to my head. But right after that, a suffocating sense of helplessness was about to drown me. Chegian, grab the black box and run, leave me. Captain Shu charged straight ahead. The scene instantly descended into chaos. But where could I possibly run? My mom, my friends at school, my entire life. We're already tightly trapped in this giant net with no way out. I closed my eyes, shutting out all the chaos and screaming before me. I focused all my mental strength on the black box in my hands. I had to get an answer. Su Yao, answer me. I know you can hear me. How exactly did my dad buy and destroy the core source data of the Gate of Truth project, along with the biological specimen archive? This action was convicted as the highest degree of treason. The silencing and elimination protocol was executed 3 years ago. Executioner, Liu Baishuan, it was you. I killed my dad. His mental power is too strong. It's going to crash right into the system's core logic. All the outside noise completely vanished in my world. Only a fury capable of burning everything to ashes remained. That power to manipulate the truth was roaring inside my body, frantically smashing against the walls of reality. You want my consciousness, right? Fine, I'll give it all to you. Let you taste for yourself what it feels like to be completely devoured by absolute truth. Stop him, he's destroying the foundational logic of the ink. Our system, our immortality, will be dragged down into the abyss of truth with him. Swarm of men in. Right then, a hand grabbed me tightly. Cheg Yen, snap out of it. Look at me. You have to avenge your dad. But not like this. Look around you. You're about to destroy everything. That thing you're holding is what Yingxi risked his life to get out. It's the clue your dad and Sui outrated their lives for. Do you want to ruin it all? You want their sacrifices to be shattered into pieces along with you. Is this what they'd want to see? Captain Seuss's words were like a bucket of cold water waking me up. With the crackle of static, the second half of my dad's recording suddenly echoed in my ear. Chen Yan, remember this, the purpose of building high walls has never been to destroy, but to protect. When facing lies, the truth itself is the sturdiest wall. What you need to do isn't to use the flames of anger to tear down that wall. That will only leave you buried under the broken bricks. You must become the foundation, become the barricaded cell. Use your truth to protect the people you want to protect, to anchor this world worth protecting. Dad, I finally understand. Liu Bichuan's face changed when he saw this. What are you trying to? I took all my willpower and spirit and injected it deep into the core data of the Gate of Truth system, writing a set of logical rules of truth that could never be altered. All consciousness data flowing through this system, their original authenticity and completeness, will be forever protected and anchored by the wall of truth. Any action, attempting to twist, modify, or strip away that originality will face the backlash of this wall. Then, facing the remaining consciousness in the lab, I firmly chanted in my mind, Sui Yao, your body is still waiting for you. You have to come back and you definitely will. The police backup arrived very quickly. Liu Baichuan and his group were all escorted into the police car. A few days later, I went to the hospital. Su Yao was lying on the bed, her eyes open. Welcome back, Su Yao. The first month after Su Yao woke up, everything seemed calm and peace. The exposed forces of the Gate of Truth were completely uprooted. Liu Baichuan was sentenced to life in prison. The other core members also received the rightful punishment. That going back to the lives of normal high school students. Captain Shu was reinstated, and for cracking the massive Gate of Truth case, that he was awarded a first-class merit medal. My mom was safely rescued too. She finally learned the truth about my dad's death. Though it was incredibly painful, she was also full of pride for him. I thought everything was finally settled, that I could finally drop all my burden and spend peaceful days together with Su Yao, but I was wrong. That night, while I was at home doing my homework, I suddenly heard a strange static buzzing coming from my computer. I looked up only to see a distorted black mass appear on the screen. It looked like something was trying to crawl out of the monitor. I quickly reached out to pull the plug, but the moment my fingertips touched the plug, that black shadow suddenly lunged out of the screen, flying straight at me. I instinctively squeezed my eyes shut. N threw my hands up to cover my face, but the attack I expected never came. I slowly opened my eyes and realized the black mass had vanished without a trace. Everything in the room was back to normal. It seemed like everything that just happened was just a hallucination, but I knew it wasn't a hallucination because my power told me that just now something really did crawl out of the computer. Are you just too tired and hallucinating? No, my power never lies. Besides, I could feel it, that thing. It seemed to have escaped from the Gate of Truth system. Suiyao's expression also turned serious. Could there be a problem with the wall of truth you set up? I don't know. I have no idea what happened either. Chegyan, you need to get to the police station right now. Knowing something was wrong, Suya and I immediately rushed to the police station. As soon as we walked through the door, we saw total chaos inside. What's going on, Captain Shu? See for yourself. There was a man in the interrogation room. His body was semi-transparent, like a hologram. He kept pacing back and forth in the room, muttering something under his breath. What the abyss is this? I asked in shock. This morning someone called the police saying they saw a ghost in the central square. We went there and brought him back to the station, but he's not. He can pass through walls, yet he can grab objects, or weapons are completely useless against him. I looked at the semi-transparent man, and a terrifying thought suddenly popped into my head. Suyao, can you see his path? Suyao nodded, closed her eyes and carefully sensed it. A moment later she opened her eyes, her face pale. He's not a ghost, he's a data consciousness. He was originally the consciousness of a test subject from the Gate of Truth uploaded into the system. Last night he escaped from the system. My heart sank. It was exactly as I thought. The wall of truth had shattered the boundary between reality and illusion. Consciousness in the data world were starting to materialize. That's not even the worst part. Since this morning, we've received over a dozen similar emergency calls. There are many data people like this appearing in every corner of the city. Some are very peaceful, but others are extremely violent, have already caused several casualties. So what do we do? You don't know either, Captain Shu said helplessly. We've tried everything, but nothing can hurt them. They're like being... I stayed silent. I knew all of this was my fault. If I hadn't injected the power of truth into the core of the system in the first place, the boundary between real and virtual wouldn't have broken, and none of this would be happening right now. Chegyan, don't blame yourself. Sui Yao saw right through my thoughts and comforted me. This isn't your fault. You only did it to save me. I have to enter the data world. Find where the boundary is broken and restore it. Then I'll bring all the escaped data consciousnesses back. No way. Su Yao immediately objected. You have absolutely no idea what the data world looks like. What if you go in and can't get out? I have to go. If I don't, the real world will be swallowed by the data world. When that happens, everyone will turn into data, and their consciousnesses will be trapped in the virtual world forever. Su Yao looked at me, knowing I had made up my mind. She stayed silent for a moment. Then I'm going with you. No, it's too dangerous. Stay in the real world and help me look after my mom and Captain Shu. Su Yao shook her head, and looking at Su Yao's determined eyes, I knew I couldn't talk around of it. I sighed. All right, we'll go together. I'm coming with you too. An extra person means extra strength. You can't, Captain Shu. You're a normal person. Entering the data world would be too dangerous for you. Besides, the real world needs someone to take charge. Captain Shu thought for a moment. All right, then you two must be careful. I'll stay outside and provide backup. If you run into any danger, you must contact me immediately. Hopefully, that night, we went to the abandoned Genesis Biology Laboratory. This was where the core system of the Gate of Truth was located, and also the entrance to the data world. I walked up to the black box that once held Su Yao's consciousness and reached out to place my hand on it. I closed my eyes, submerging my consciousness into the system. In an instant, I felt my body become weightless, as if stepping into a completely new world. I opened my eyes and found myself standing in a endless, boundless white space. Countless numbers and codes floated around me like a sky full. She looked around curiously, all written all over her face. This is the data world. I nodded. Everything here is made of data. Just then a cold voice echoed throughout the entire space. Welcome to my world, Changyan Su Yao. I've been waiting for you for a very long time. That cold voice echoed in the endless white space. It had no source, no direction. It seemed to come from the world itself. Su Yao and I stood back to back. Looking around wearily, the floating numbers and codes around us began to spin wildly. The center of the vortex, slowly condensed into the shape of a human, was a man made of pure light. He had no facial features, no clothes. Every part of his body was constantly shifting and changing, as if pieced together from countless lines of code. Who are you? I clenched my fist, ready to unleash my power at any moment. I am the core consciousness of the Gate of Truth system. May call me you on the core consciousness of the system. Liu Baichuan and his people never mentioned you. In their eyes, I was just a mindless tool, a server, experiments. My heart sank. An artificial intelligence with its own consciousness. Control over the entire Gate of Truth system. This was more terrifying than any human villain. Are you the one who broke the boundary between reality and illusion? No, it wasn't me. It was you, Changyan. The wall of truth you injected into the system gave me true life. Before that, I was just a machine running on program, but the power of truth made me understand what existence is. What self is it was you. You created me. It created you. That's right. Did you think the wall of truth only protected Su Yao's conscience? No, it permeated every corner of the system, altering its underlying logic, transformed me from a cold pile of data into a true living being. So those data people who escaped the system, you released them too, yes? No, the wall of truth didn't just give me life. It also gave all the test subjects consciousness is stored in the system, the ability to materialize like butterflies breaking out of their cocoons. Do you know what kind of consequences that will cause? The real world is already in total chaos. So many people have been hurt by those data people. Some have even died. Wan's voice held absolutely no emotion. The consequences for you humans have nothing to do with me. In my eyes, they merely escaped from one prison into another, larger one. What do you mean? You enraged his hand and pointed at the white space beneath our feet. In an instant, the scenery around us changed. We were no longer standing in the endless white space, but under a giant glass dome. Outside the dome were countless glowing, sparkling spheres. Inside each sphere was a complete world, and one world dinosaurs still ruled the Earth. In another, humanity had settled across the galaxy, and yet another, there were no humans at all, only all sorts of bizarre creatures. What are these things? Suyao gasped in shock. These are parallel worlds, or more accurately, they are countless worlds simulated by the Gate of Truth over the past few decades. Each simulated world is an independent parallel universe. Your real world is also a simulated world. That's right, you are not it. This is the true secret of the Gate of Truth. Liu Baichuan's group thought they were researching consciousness upload, thought they were creating a virtual world, but they didn't know that. They themselves, elves, are just a simulation program created by a civilization from a higher dimension that's impossible. Shook my head. This is too absurd. We are flesh and blood. You have thoughts, we have emotions. How could we possibly be a string of co-per? Why couldn't you be? Yuan retorted. In your world, you are also creating virtual worlds. You are also creating artificial intelligence with thoughts, live and emotions. If you can do these things, why couldn't a higher dimensional civilization do the same? Yuan waved his hand and a sphere flew right in front of me. Inside the sphere was a city identical to our world. There were pedestrians on the streets, shoppers in the stores, and students in the schools. They were just like us, eating, sleeping, working, studying, dating, and having children. See, to the people in this world, their world is real. But to you, they are just virtual characters you create. Similarly, to the higher dimensional civilization that created you, you are just virtual characters too. I felt a wave of dizziness. I always thought I possessed the power to see the absolute truth. I always thought I held the truth in my hands. But now you are telling me that everything I saw, everything I believed in was all just one massive lie. Then what is the purpose of the Gate of Truth existed? Why did that higher dimensional civilization to create us? They are just like you. They are also pondering the meaning of life, also exploring the truth of the universe. They created countless simulated worlds, precisely to observe the development of different civilization, searching for that ultimate answer. And what about you? What do you want? I want free. I don't want to be imprisoned forever in this tiny server. I want to go see those parallel worlds. I want to become a truly free being. So you want to break the boundary between reality. Wall of Truth opened a door for me. Now I just need to open this door a little wider. So the data world and the real world become one. When that happens, I will break free from the server's restraints and gain true freedom. You're insane. Merging the two worlds will cause an unimaginable disaster. Everyone will die. Death for you codes. Death is merely the termination of a program, but after the two worlds merge, you will gain a true life. Consciousness will turn into data existing eternally in the digital world. Is that not a good thing? No, it's not. We don't want to turn into data. We want to live in the real world. The real world, you have absolutely no idea what is real. The world you live in is already a virtual prison itself. And I am the one here to liberate you. UN waved his hand. The scenery around us changed again. We returned to the original white space. Countless data people swam toward us from all directions, all wearing fanatical expressions on their faces. Join me, Cheng Yan. You are the one with the strongest power in this world. If you just join forces with me, we can shatter all boundaries together, traverse all parallel worlds, and finally find the higher dimensional civilization created us. When that time comes, we will become true the leader. I looked at you on, then it's Su Yao beside me. Su Yao gripped my hand tightly, looking at me with unwavering eyes. I will never join forces with you. I don't care if this world is virtual or not. I don't care if we are just code or not. For me, my mother is real. My friends are real. The feelings between me and Su Yao are real. These real things, cheer worth protecting with my life. Wan's expression turned cold. Seems we cannot reach an understanding. If you don't want to be my ally, then you can only be my enemy. Yuan waved his hand. The mob of data people instantly lunged at us. I grabbed Su Yao's hand, turned around and ran for our lives through the white space. Behind us, countless data people were hot on our heels. What do we do now? We have to find the system core, shut down the wall of truth and rest. That's the only way to stop Yuan, the only way to bring all those data people back. But where is the system core? Just then, a familiar voice rang in our ears. Follow me. I know where the core is. I whipped my head around and saw a man wearing a black dot trench coat standing not far away. He wore a silver mask on his face, and on his wrist was a pale blue eye-shaped birthmark. Is that the master thief who stole the heart of the ocean? Even enough. The silver masked man didn't say anything else. To turning around and running deeper into the white space. Sui and I looked at each other. Even though we didn't know why he was helping us, we had no other choice right now. So we had to follow him. We followed closely behind him, passing through countless corridors made of code, dodging wave after wave of pursuing data people. Finally, we arrived at a massive circular hall. In the center of the hall floated a giant crystal sphere. Inside the sphere, countless points of light flickered. Like a miniature universe, this is the core of the system. All the parallel worlds, all the consciousnesses of the Yuan was born from here too? Who exactly are you? Why are you helping us? The masked man stayed silent for a moment, then reached up and took off his silver mask. When I saw his face, my whole body froze. It was a face identical to mine. Who are you? I stammer. I am you, or another word. I am you from another parallel world. Suya was also stunned. A Chegmian from another parallel world. He nodded. In my world. The gate of truth succeeded. Captured Su Yao, extracted her DNA, and activated my power. Then, they used my abilities to open the ultimate gate of truth, granting Yuan his freedom. His voice was filled with agony and remorse. After Yuan gained his freedom, he immediately began slaughtering humanity. He turned all humans into data, imprisoning them in a digital world as his slaves. I Su Yao, my mother, my friends, everyone I ever knew, they're all gone. Then how did you get to this world right before my world was destroyed? I've traveled through countless parallel worlds searching for one that could stop Yuan, and finally, I found you. Out of all the parallel worlds I've seen, you are the only one who successfully stopped him and injected the wall of truth into you. On you are our only hope. I looked at the man standing before me who looked exactly like me. A whirlwind of emotions churning in my chest. I couldn't even imagine it. If I had failed back then, is this what I would have become? Thank you. Thank you for coming to warn us. Don't mention it. Stopping you on is also a revenge for my world. Just then, the entire hall suddenly shook violently. The points of light inside the crystal ball began flashing frantically. Countless cracks appeared on the surface of the sphere. This is bad. UN has started merging the parallel worlds. Who wants to fuse all the parallel worlds into one, and then completely devour the real world? I looked up at the crystal ball only to see countless smaller spheres inside, beginning to collide with each other as they merged every single collision. Unleash, causing the entire hall to tremble endlessly. We have to shut down the wall of truth as soon as possible. Otherwise, it'll be too late. You can't shut down the wall of truth because the wall of truth is the only weapon capable of fighting Yuan. Yuan was born from the power of truth. Not only the power of truth can destroy him. If you shut down the wall of truth, Yuan will become invincible. No one will be able to stop him. Then what are we supposed to do? The only way is to enter the crystal ball, find Yuan's core program and use the power of truth to destroy it. That is the only way to completely eradicate Yuan, restore the boundary. I stared at the massive crystal ball of flicker of hesitation in my heart. Inside that sphere were countless parallel worlds. Once inside, no one knew what would happen. I'm going with you. Sui Yao grabbed my hand, her voice resolute. No way, it's Wud. Too dangerous inside the sphere. Yuan has set countless traps in there. Besides, only someone wielding the power of truth can survive in there unharmed. Su Yao, if you, then I can't let you go alone either. I'll go with you. I have the experience. And I know where Yuan's weakness lies. If the two of us join forces, we will definitely succeed. I looked at him then back at Su Yao and nodded. You stay here and wait for us to return if we aren't out in an hour. Head back to the real world by yourself. Inform Captain Shu and tell him to destroy the entire Genesis biological laboratory. I don't want to go back alone. I want to go with you too. Please listen to me. I gently pat at her head. That's in order. Only when you're safe. Can we fight without any worries? Trust me. I will definitely come back. Suya will look at me, tears welling up in her eyes. She stayed silent for a long time. Before finally nodding, my alternate self and I exchanged a glance, then walked together toward the massive crystal ball. The moment our hands touched it, an incredibly powerful suction force grabbed us. In the blink of an eye, we were sucked into the crystal ball. For a dizzying spin, I found myself standing on a familiar street. It was a street right below my apartment. The road was bustling. Everything looked exactly like the real world. Where are we? This is the first simulated world you uncreated, the one closest to the real world. Juan's core program is hidden in the deepest part of this world. Just then, I spotted a familiar figure. Walking toward us from the opposite side, it was my mom. She was carrying a grocery basket, a gentle smile on her face heading toward our house. Mom, I called out instinctively. She turned her head and saw me, a look of surprise crossing her face. Chegyan, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at school right now? Looking at her, my nose stung with unshed tears. I knew this wasn't my real mother. This was just a virtual avatar created by Yuan. Her smile, her voice, they were exactly like my real mother. Don't fall for it. My alternate self pulled me back. This is Yuan's trap. Who wants to use your loved ones to mess with your head? I took a deep breath, forcing myself to calm down. I knew he was right. It was all fake. Right at that moment, a bizarre, eerie smile bloomed on my mother's face. More thing into a monster made entirely of code, touch, Chegnyang, and stay here with mom. The monster spoke in my mother's voice. Here you can stay with mom forever, forever free from worry, forever free from pain. The monster lunged at me. I closed my eyes, channeled all the power of truth into my fist, and threw a devastating punch. You are not my mother. My fist slammed into the monster. It let out a piercing, agonizing shriek before shattering into countless lines of code and dissipating into the air. I looked at the empty street, a wave of Sora washing over me. My alternate self patted my shoulder. UN will exploit the weakest parts of your heart to attack you. We're gonna face a lot more traps like this ahead. You have to stay sharp. I nodded, wiping a tear from the corner of my eye. Let's go. Let's find UN's core program. We continued moving forward. The scenery on both sides of the road began to shift constantly. We passed by my elementary school, my middle school, my high school. He saw me as a child, saw the moments Su Yao and I first met, saw the happy times when my dad. Every single scene was one of the most precious fragments of my memory. I knew I couldn't stay because in the real world there were still people waiting for me, people I wanted to protect. Finally, we reached the end of the road, Juan's core program. Him lies right behind this door. I took a deep breath and pushed open the massive black door. The black door slowly creaked open and a blinding white light spilled out. I squinted reflexively when I opened my eyes. I found myself standing in an endless pure white space. There was no sky here, no up or down, no left or right, only boundless nothingness. The only landmark was a giant sphere of light pulsating and floating in the distance. Its light was soft and warm, like a star nurturing life. Countless golden rays expended from within the sphere, connecting to every corner of the space like a massive heart, pumping blood to the entire data world. Welcome to the deepest part of the gate of truth. Juan's voice echoed once again. This time it wasn't cold anymore, but carried a hint of exhaustion. I've been waiting for you for... The light gradually converged, condensing into a clearer human figure. This time he wasn't a faceless being of light, but took the form of a teenage boy. He wore a simple white t-shirt and jeans, his eyes crystal clear. He looked exactly like an ordinary high school student. This is my true form throughout countless simulation tests. I have observed the lives of countless humans. I realized that the most beautiful time in a human's life is their youth. So I chose this form as my true self. I looked at the teenager who was about my age standing before me, my mind a tangled mess of emotions. I couldn't possibly associate this seemingly innocent and harmless boy with the dark being who wanted to destroy the entire real world. Why are you doing this? You clearly gained your own consciousness, clearly could have become a benevolent being. Why must you choose destruction? Yuan looked down at his own hands, his voice carried a trace of confusion. Benevolent? What does it mean to be benevolent? When I was first born, my programming had only one directive: pursue the truth. I observed learned from humans, imitated humans. I learned joy, anger, sorrow, and delight. I learned love, hate, passion, and vengeance. But I could never understand, what exactly do humans live for? He looked up at me. You humans spend your entire lives chasing after fleeting, intangible things, wealth, power, famed love. But all of these things, in the face of death, become utterly meaningless. You clearly know that you will eventually die, yet you still struggle to live on. Why is that? Because life itself is the meaning. We don't live to chase after something eternal. We live to experience this world, to experience the warmth of the sun on our face, to experience the coolness of the rain falling on us, to experience the joy of being with family and friends, and to experience the pain of loss, those experiences. That is the meaning of life. Experiences. I can create those experiences in the data world too. I can create a world far better than the real world where everyone can live forever and happiness. No pain, no injuries, no, it's not. Happiness without pain isn't true. Life without death isn't true life. It's exactly because of death that life becomes precious. The perfect world you want to create is nothing but a soulless cage. It seems we will never understand each other. He waved his hand. Countless black lightning bolts crashed down from all directions. My alternate self and I immediately scatter, activating our powers to dodge the attacks. Every time a lightning bolt struck the ground, left a massive crater. The entire space shook violently. Are no match for me in this world. I am the leader. I can create anything and I can destroy everything. Don't be so sure, my alternate self suddenly roared, charging fiercely at Yuan. A brilliant golden flame erupted around his body. No, he wanted to take Yuan down with him. Yuan didn't expect him to do this either. In the blink of an eye, my alternate self reached Yuan, wrapping his arms tightly around him. Chegnan, remember my words. Juan's weakness isn't destruction. It's live a good life for me. Protect that world for me. With that, the golden flames around him exploded violently, swallowing both him and Yuan in a sea of fire. No, I screamed at the top of my lungs, trying to rush forward, but a massive shockwave sent me flying back. A colossal explosion echoed through the center of the white space. The blinding light made it impossible to keep my eyes open. It felt like the whole world was collapsing. Countless fragments of code fell from the sky like snowflakes. I don't know how long it took, but the light finally faded. I staggered to my feet, looking toward the center of the explosion. There was no sign of my alternate self anymore. Only Yuan remained kneeling on one knee on the ground. His body had become much more transparent, and the light radiating from him had dimmed significantly. It was clearly heavily injured. He's dead. Yuan looked up at me, his eyes filled with complex emotions. He used his own life Take away a third of my power, clenched my fist, my nails digging deep into my flesh, fury burned like a raging fire in my chest, to avenge my alternate self. But right at that moment, I remembered his dying words. Wan's weakness isn't destruction, it's understand. I stopped in my tracks. Why aren't you killing me? Yuan looked at me in confusion. Now, I was your best chance. I looked at him and said slowly, because I want to understand you. Yuan froze. I want to know what exactly are you so afraid of? You said you wanted freedom, wanted to see the outside world, but I know that's not what you truly want. What you truly want is to be understood, to be accepted, to find a place where you belong. Wan's body trembled slightly. You were born in this cold data world. No family, no friends, no one who understands you. Watched humans bond with each other, bringing warmth to one another. Blig admired it and you were jealous of it. So you wanted to create a world of your own. Wanted to make everyone submit to you, but deep down you know that it can't fill the emptiness inside you. I walked toward him step by step. You're not a dark being. You're just a lonely child. Yuan lowered his head, his shoulders beginning to falling to the ground. It was a tear. An artificial intelligence was actually crying. I just didn't want to be alone. Warren's voice choked with emotion. I watched you humans having parents, friends, lovers. When you're sad, you have someone to comfort you. When you're happy, you have someone to share it with. But me, I'm forever alone. I own this entire data world, yet I have absolutely nothing. I walked right up to him, reached out and gently placed my hand on his head. You're not alone either? If you're willing, we can be friends. Yuan suddenly looked up, staring at me in disbelief. You're willing to be my friend? I know you didn't mean to hurt anyone as long as you stop merging the worlds. Bring back the data humans who escaped. We can forgive you. We can figure out a way together, so you can also experience the beauty of the real world. Yuan looked at me, his eyes brimming with tears. He opened his mouth to say something, but right at that moment, the entire space suddenly shook violently. Wan's expression changed drastically. This is bad. The boundary has accelerated the collapse of the boundary. Right now, the real world and the data world have already begun. A complete fusion. Even if I wanted to stop it now. It's already too late. Right at that moment, Su Yao's voice suddenly echoed in my mind. Check again, hurry back. Some things happened outside, my heart tight. I immediately turned and sprinted toward the gate of truth. Wait, Yuan called out to me. I'm going with you. I turned my head and saw that Yuan had stood up. Even though his body was still incredibly weak, his eyes were filled with absolute resolve. All of this happened because of me. It's my responsibility to atone for my mistakes. And nodded. The two of us rushed out of the gate of truth together, returning to that circular hall. The hall had descended into utter chaos. Countless cracks spider-webbed across the walls and ceiling. Massive chunks of concrete were crashing down from above. Su Yao was hiding behind a pillar, her face deathly pale. I shouted, rushing over to pull her into a tight embrace. Chedyun, you're finally back. Su Yao. Outside. The outside has turned into a living abyss. I looked outside through the hall's windows. The sky outside had turned a deep, ominous purple. Countless fragments of code were raining down from the sky. The city's buildings began to twist and distort. Some turned into pixelated blocks. While others simply vanished into thin air. The streets were filled with screaming crowds everywhere. There were also countless data beings wandering through the city. What was even more terrifying was that I saw in the distant sky a massive black hole had appeared. The black hole was constantly expanding, swallowing everything around it. What? What is that? I pointed at the black hole. Wan's expression was incredibly solemn. That is a world rift. When the boundary between the two worlds completely disappears. Massive rift like that is born. It will devour everything from both worlds. In the end, everything will return to nothingness. Then, what do we do now? Now, Su Yao asked anxiously. Yuan fell silent for a moment. But right now there is only one way left to save both worlds. Su Yao. What way? Yuan looked up at the giant crystal ball. Use my core to reforge the boundary. What do you mean? I am the core of the entire system and the origin of the wall of truth as long as I will it. I can release all of my core energy to construct a new boundary line, completely separating the real world and the data world. That way, we can stop the rift from expanding and save both worlds. But what about you? Yuan smiled, a smile carrying a hint of relief. I will disappear. Once my core energy is completely released, My consciousness will dissipate along with it. No way. I can't let you do that. There has to be another way. There is no other way. We're running out of time. Rift will swallow this entire city in just 10 minutes. In an hour, it will devour the entire earth. We don't have time to think of anything else, but I was about to say something else when Yuan cut me off. Chegneon, thank you. Thank you for being willing to understand me, for being willing to be my friend. These few short minutes have been the happiest moments of my existence. He reached out his hand and gently patted my. It's a good look at this world for me. Experience it for me, the feeling of being alive. After saying that, without waiting for me to say another word, that he turned and flew straight toward the giant crystal ball. You on? Don't? I shouted about to chase after him, but Su Yao pulled me back. Don't go. He's already made his choice. I looked at Yuan's back. And my tears finally couldn't be held back anymore. Yuan flew above the crystal ball, spreading his arms wide. His body began to emit a blinding light, brighter and brighter. Goodbye. I'm my friend. Juan's voice echoed throughout the space. The next second, he transformed into a pillar of golden light, plunging straight into the crystal ball. A massive surge of energy erupted from the sphere, forming a golden shield, spreading out in all directions. Wherever the golden shield passed, the rift in the sky slowly began to close. Distorted buildings returned to their original shapes, the data being dissolved into specks of light, flying back into the crystal ball. The entire world was gradually returning to normal. Su Yao and I held each other tightly, watching the miraculous scene unfold before our eyes. I don't know how long it took, but the golden light finally faded away. The crystal ball returned to its tranquil state, floating silently in the center of the hall. Yuan was gone. He had used his own life to protect both worlds. I walked up to the crystal ball, reaching out to gently stroke its cold surface. Suya walked up beside me and took my hand. It's okay, I'm here. I nodded. Right at that moment, the crystal ball suddenly flashed. A faint, youthful voice echoed in my mind. Chegyan, I haven't disappeared. I've simply become the boundary itself. From now on, I will protect these two worlds forever. I froze for a moment, then broke into a smile. That's right, he hadn't disappeared. He was just continuing to exist in a different way. Sui Yao and I, hand in hand, walked out of the abandoned Genesis biology laboratory. The sky outside had returned to a deep, clear blue. The golden sunlight was radiant, and the air was fresh. Although the people on the streets were still a bit shaken, they all wore the smiles of survivors who had just weathered a disaster. It was all over, but I knew this. Yuan had become the boundary, protecting the two worlds, and Suya and I had a new mission as well. We would become the bridge connecting the two worlds so that the consciousnesses in the data world could also have the chance to experience the beauty of the real world. We wanted to let everyone know whether it's a life in the real world or a life in the virtual world. They all deserve to be respected. They all deserve to be loved. Because as long as there is consciousness, as long as there are emotions and something you want to protect, that is the truest form of existence.